Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and make sure to subscribe today before you leave, and make sure to share the video on all your social media networks that you are on currently, and thumbs up if you do like the video. All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right. Feels so good to be back in front of the camera again. I feel like I've been gone too long. It's only been like a week, probably a week and a half. Like a week and a half, I'm gonna say. Yeah. Got some things going on. Different things. Life is happening. So, yeah, sometimes I gotta take just a little mini vacation off. It happens. I'm sorry. It happens. All right, well, I'm back now. Anyway, so this video is actually unexpected because it's not the video's not unexpected. I was gonna do a video regardless, but the topic is unexpected. It kind of came from like an experience that I had today, actually, right? Like it's weird, okay? Really, really weird. Okay, so I was on the train earlier this afternoon, right? I had an appointment downtown, so I go downtown, and I'm on the train. I just got on, and I'm on the CTA. Okay, so on the red line. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know anything about that. If you live in Chicago, roll the red line, you know how it is. It can be eventful. It's mostly uneventful, for the most part, like during the regular hours, but sometimes it can be kind of antsy at certain hours. You get little characters on there, and you're like, "What the world's going on? What are you doing?" Okay, so it's been like craziness. I know we had like a really bad tragedy happen on the red line, like back in June. Yeah, the young lady Jessica Hampton, 25, she was stabbed to death at 47th Street. Had her throat slit by a guy she was dating at the time. They seemed to be like involved. They may have been involved with each other, and yeah, he asked her some question about having kids, and she said no. He went off, and yeah. Anyway, I later found out that he had schizophrenia or some report I was reading. So allegedly he had like some kind of mental issue. But anyway, so um I'm on the train and I'm sitting there and I'm like kind of looking at my phone. I was looking at the directions of the place where I was going to. And so I see this lady, right? She gets on and I think she's homeless. Yeah, I think she was homeless. But she also looked like she kind of had like a mental disability or like something was off with her. Like she was kind of, yeah, she wasn't too right. I was kind of sensing something about her spirit. I was kind of getting that discernment kicking in. And when I use my discernment, I don't use it for judgment. I just use it, I'm not judging nobody. I always just use it for good judgment, basically, just to, suss out well I need to move or, whatever. And some of her eyes, like her eyes was kind of like rolling back in her head, and she just didn't look like she had it all. She kept doing this with her hands, like she was gearing up for a fight or something. It was just wasn't right, and I just kind of had that feeling, like you get that feeling in your spirit, like okay, something is off with her. And I was like, Lord, please don't let her go on this train because I just had a feeling she was gonna get it started. She gets on the train and she's like just begging. So I was like, maybe she's asking for money, which is no problem. So she asks this little boy for money. And she asked him for money. He said no at first. Then she goes back to him again. And I'm like, so why is she over in his face? And she kept talking to him about something. So it looked like she was asking him more than whatever, like more than for money. Like she was having a conversation with him, and he was like, no. And just looking at her. And so then she walked away from him. And she walks outside on the platform again and gets back on. So she's still kind of doing this, and she's looking around. Her eyes like she's not there. You can tell like she's really not here. She's here, but she's not really here. And I'm like, and so another young lady looked at her and jumped up and went to that car. And I said, that's why I said, bingo. I know. I know that. I said, yeah, she was in that car. Someone told me, yeah, you need to go to, yeah, like something gonna happen with this character right here. I said, here we go. Somebody started something. I gotta do something. Okay, so I said, well, maybe she'd get off at like, 87 or something like that. I didn't think it was a big deal. Or she'd get off at 63rd, one of the little stops, Maybe she'd get off, she not doing no ask for money. Okay, so, I'm kind of sitting towards the back by the door, by the emergency doors. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, it's like, maybe like after the train got to going, everybody's kind of looking back like, oh my God. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I look back and I had my headphones on, but I had never turned on the music. I never turned the music on. It's like I was about to, but something stopped me, like from turning on the music. I never turned the music. I had my headphones on, but I never turned on the music. So I looked back. I said, "What?" So I'm looking, and she's like, literally, there's a boy, and he's like, no, he's not a man. If he is, like, he's probably 18, 19, but he's like, he's skinny. He's kind of skinny. He has dress in his hair, and he's kind of standing in the corner by the door, and she's literally beating him, like she's literally punching him, seriously, like she's beating the crap out of him, like pummeling him with fists, and like he's kind of like laughing, so to speak. I don't know how hard she was hitting him, but like she was hitting him kind of hard. But he was like kind of like, it was a nervous laughter, but he wasn't retaliating. Like he wouldn't hit her back. He was kind of standing in the corner, like trying to, like, he was kind of huddled, trying to keep her from hitting him in the face. And everybody's like, "Oh my God!" And so everybody was just looking shocked. And she was just like really just really going at him. And I'm like, "What is going on?" So I jump up. Another lady got up, and we all both like, "Oh my God!" And I'm looking for the emergency button. Our emergency button was down there by her, so I knew I had to go to the next car. So I just went to the next car, pushed the emergency button. I was like, "Okay." I told the conductor there's a boy being beat up in the next car. He stopped the train at the next stop. He gets out and asks me, "So which car?" I say, "It's that car, the one right ahead of this one." He goes in. So he managed to get off the train. Now, meanwhile, there's the lady who had initially left the train before I did, asked me what it was her. I said, "Yeah, it was her." She's like, I knew it. I knew that beat was crazy. I knew she was crazy. That's why I got up. I was like, "Yeah, I saw you leave. I should have left with you." And it was like, no, it was a guy too, and he joined in our conversation. He was like, basically there was always something on the train, it's always something going on. And then he has his phone out, and he's like, "Oh, I need to record this. I should record it." And the lady was like, "What the F is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, right?" So that mentality annoys me, by the way, when people, like, when something dangerous going on, when somebody's being hurt seriously, like somebody's getting beat up, and you pull your phone out, and you're like, "I should record this." Like, the fact that he even had the gumption to say that, "I need to record this." Oh, where is it at? I need to record this. I'm like, did he just say he needs to record this? I'm like, so you're thinking about recording this instead of thinking about, "Oh my God, is he hurt? Do I need to call 911? Oh, where they at?" He's like literally looking out the door for them so he can record it. I'm like, oh my God, this is a grown man talking about, "I need to record it." I'm like, the world star culture here. I'm like, what are you talking about? But people get off on that. They like watching other people get hurt for some strange reason. When that girl got killed on the train, people recorded her, and they put pics of her getting stabbed, videos of her getting stabbed to death online. Her family was outraged. They have a right to be. I mean, why? Who posts that online? But some people like to watch gory things. They like seeing murder and death happen right in their faces, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't believe you getting this. I'm getting this," and I'm like, ugh, like, what kind of person are you? Anyway, I'm like, what an idiot, But he did record the lady walking down. Like, the train conductor managed to get her off the train. And I think she had, like, escalated whatever she was doing. Like, I guess she was beating the boy even worse, or she was beating somebody else, because I saw before, like, while the train conductor had went down there to get her, I don't know what was going on, because another lady had gotten, I think even before the train conductor went down there, like, right before the train stopped, a man had come from that train car onto our car, and a woman came down. They were both like, "Oh, So I think whatever she was doing had gotten worse. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't put it past her. I'm like, yeah, she looked like something ain't right, upstairs with her in here either, with her heart or her mind. I'm like, she's not really, right. With some demons going there, or mental illness. Some is really nice, a cacophony. It's a mixture, of a hybrid of both. Like, something going on. Okay, the lady ain't right. Okay, she didn't have, she beating up a kid, for no reason. And then the little boy was like, "I wish this lady get off me," But it was funny, and all that. It's not funny like haha, but it's funny how I'm looking at all these people, all these grown people. The lady got she got off the train. The conductor was able to get off. Nothing major happened. We were able to continue our route just fine. But the point I'm making is all these grown people. This is a little boy. He was a little boy. He had to be a teenager, but still, he's a child. And whether he was a child or an adult or an elderly person, the fact that he is being beaten in a corner, he's huddled in a corner getting beaten by a crazy grown woman, And this woman ain't got no weapons. She don't have no, well, at least not no visible ones. She don't have no weapons out. The other guy had a knife, you know, and the people were scared. And I heard it was two men on that train who jumped to help, but they didn't want to do it because he had a knife. I'm like, two men, y'all could have kicked the knife out of his hand. It was a knife, not a gun. You know, so I don't see how that annoyed me. But all these grown people watching this baby get beat today, and nobody thought, everybody has a phone out, but, or at least most people have phones out, but nobody thinks to call 911. How do you watch a child get beaten in front of your face and you don't even think to, like, you know, call 911, intervene, or like, you know, like I did? I just went to the next car and pressed the emergency button. I'm like, I couldn't do that. Something in me was like, no. And then when it's funny, I got to the next car. I had this voice in my head like, you escaped now. You can just sit there and relax. And then another voice was like, no, help him. You don't do that. You know, I'm like, who does that? You know. So, you know, what's a hero? A hero is a person, typically a man who is admired, it could be a man or woman, who's admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. So, was I trying to be a hero? No. You know, am I trying to get credit for being a hero? Not at all. So in today's time, we always think of heroes as people who spring into action during the action. Basically, we want to have to see them jump into a fight or a train rail or in front of an oncoming car just to save an individual, in order for us to consider in our minds them being a hero. But really, it doesn't take much to be a hero. Being a hero can simply mean standing up for what's right when no one else will. Real heroes don't seek out credit or approval for their heroism. They simply acted on an immediate need. Basically, what I did today, I just saw someone needed help. I wasn't thinking, I'm going to do this and get some credit. You know, no. I jumped up and I just saw, all I could think of was, you know, I'm looking at this little boy. He looks scared. He's being beaten, and nobody cares. No, everybody's just thinking about themselves. I mean, the passengers look scared too and horrified, but they just like, I think they care, but they didn't. They just didn't react. They had that bystander effect, as they call it. So my point, there should be more heroes. We need more heroes. Too many sideline watchers and trying to save myself and mine. Got a phone in my hand, but fail to use the type of folks. I'm tired of those folks. I don't understand why we have so many bystander type people. I'm like, get up. You have a phone in your hand. You sitting there playing on Facebook, so if somebody's being beat down in front of you, you know, or, you know, getting a crazy argument, you see it kind of going left, something crazy going on, get up and do something about it. I don't understand how that even happens. I just don't. You know, I'm like, come on now. This is a baby. Like, I mean, come on. And, you know, if it's fear, a lot of people say, well, I'm scared. You know, I understand. I don't want to die either. You know, if fear is your big hindrance, John 14:27 says, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. And do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. So, come on now. Joshua 1:9 says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So it doesn't matter whether you're on a train or a bus or on the corner, on the porch. It doesn't matter where you at. God is always with you regardless. And so that courage, you know, that he's giving you, that peace he's giving you, should always remain with you. It doesn't leave you because you leave your house. You don't have to leave it at home. Don't feel like peace is like something, you know, like your refrigerator where when you leave the house, you gotta leave your refrigerator at home. It's not like that. The peace and the courage that God's giving you, it stays with you. So when you're on the train and you see someone being hurt, or you're being hurt, or whatever it is, it stays with you. It's still the same thing. So you can still act and react using that same peace, that same courage that he's giving you. You don't have to leave it at home. Stop leaving it at home. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be acting fear like the rest of the world, because you know why? If you are truly a child of God, you know better. You know, but I'm not saying you have to be walking around jumping everybody's business and, you know, and giving yourself and putting yourself in a risky situation. God don't want you to do it either. But follow his spirit. Always follow what the Holy Spirit is telling you. That's all I did. All I was obedient. I just followed what God told me to do. You know, whatever the Spirit told me to do. You know, had the Spirit told me just get up and leave, I would have done that. Don't do anything, I would have done that. But God told me, I just did whatever he told me to do. He said, get up, go to the car. I did it, press the emergency button. You know, so you just knowing his voice and follow that. That's all you have to do. Psalms 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? That's a very common one. We all probably heard that verse before. Psalm 27:1. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I think that might be my brother's favorite. I think so. I think he told me that one of the verses there is his favorite. But but yeah, it's like, come on now. He's letting you know, like, I got you all the way, baby. You are mine. So you have nothing to be afraid of. I have not placed and God has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power and a sound mind. That's another one of my favorite verses. So what in the world? Come on now. Like you gotta know better. You gotta stop letting the enemy trick you and tell you, be scared, be scared. They gonna get you. They gonna get you. And I think that's why another reason with all this violence that we have in society today, that's another reason why you have that, because you keep feeding the fear. You keep feeding into the enemy and allowing him to trick you and let your fear cripple you. The fear cripples you, and that's when the enemy starts to win. If you pull back that power that he is taken from you, you would have as much problem. I just believe that wholeheartedly. That this world wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be as toxic, as crazy, and as violent as it is, because you can. People who have violent communities, live in violent communities, you can improve that. You can improve your own community. The power is within you, but you won't tap into it because you're so busy tapped into your fear. You live in your fear. Your fear, it just immobilizes you. If you would break out of your fear and you would tap into the courage that God has already placed inside of you, you can move mountains, and the devil could tell you that you couldn't move it. It wouldn't matter if he was standing right by you and said, you can't do it. You can look him in his face and say, I call you a lie. Go back to hell, and you can move that mountain. Come on, you can stop the gunshots and the knife wounds and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff would cease to exist. It could. I just wholeheartedly believe people would everybody tapped into their God-given strength, but nobody wants to do that because they're so busy. They're so busy carbon self-centeredness for the first thing. Just so busy focus on, it's all about me and mine. I ain't worried about nobody else. That's the first thing you got to get rid of. Stop being so selfish. The second thing is stop being scared of everything. Stop being scared. Come on. Stop saying I can't. Focus on what you can do. You can. You have a lot. People got a lot more power than they think they have. They just don't use it. So Psalms 118:6. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? Hello. Eat that verse for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and save some for a snack. What can they do to me? They can't do nothing to me. Even if they was to kill me, you would do nothing. You would be doing nothing but doing a favor for me, because I would be home with my Father. So I'm like, you ain't doing nothing but hold the door for me as I walked into heaven. So I'm like, you still didn't do anything. You still didn't do anything. So please stop fearing idiots with a gun. Come on now. God makes you strong, not weak. He's not a weak God. So stop acting like he is. And if you are truly his child, then you aren't weak either. Stop acting like you are. 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Spirit of God gave us does not make us timid, but it makes us it gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Hello? Tap into that. Mark 12:31. The second is this: you must love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. So part of our love for our neighbor is looking out for our fellow man, even if they're not your family or your friend. Okay, so we have a self-seeking, self-gratifying mentality that has to cease in order to truly be more Christ-like in nature and lifestyle and also character. So that's why I was just saying a moment ago, you have to let that cease. Let that die in you, because that's a poison that we keep eating. It's a poison the enemy keeps feeding us, and we as a society have to stop doing it, especially us who are in Christ. Stop doing it. Even in the body of Christ, in churches you have people who are like that. Stop being all about yourself. It has to be love. You have to start loving your neighbor more. You have to start loving your neighbor. Let me tell you something. When I went to my appointment, I was in the office. I was waiting a little bit longer than what I was supposed to be waiting, because the person I was supposed to be seeing, he had some other things to do. He had like other appointments, and I had to wait a little bit longer, but it was okay. Every person who was there, who worked there, who wasn't even no manager, that came there, almost every person that came to the door spoke to me. One lady said, "Praise the Lord, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, how you doing?" She came, everybody came to that door, spoke to me and said, "How you doing? Have you been waiting on? Have you been waiting on?" I said, "Yes, I have. Thank you." Now I'm looking at them, and these ain't number regular people that work there. These are just regular workers, like, you know, this entry level, whatever, just regular workers. These are not managers. These are not CEOs. These are regular people, just, you know, speaking to me and checking in on me. You know, you said loving on me. You know, loving thy neighbor. You know, just checking in. Like, how you doing today? Have you been waiting on? Are you okay? Have you been waiting on? Has somebody seen you? You know, hello. And for me, it was just like, it was beautiful. I just thought it was like, whoa. You know, I'm like, that's the perfect example of loving thy neighbor, because most people don't give a, you know what, about another person. You know, why would they care how I was doing? Who am I? They ain't never seen me before in their life, so why would they care if somebody had waited on me or not? Who cares? You know, why not bypass me? You know, why not keep going? I just kind of expect them to. I didn't expect anything. I was just sitting there minding my business, and they're like, "How you doing? Have you been waiting on? You okay?" I mean, I got that question so many times, you know. People just, hello, how are you? How you doing? You know, I mean, it was just, wow, you know, I never, I mean, it was just so much love, you know. I'm like, wow, you know, you know, and it just was, it was just beautiful, you know. I saw it as like a repayment of like what happened, you know, for like my actions on the train. Though I was not looking for repayment, I was not looking for that. I just did what I was supposed to do. I just did what I felt like I had to do. In the moments I wasn't looking for a gift or anything like that, you know. But I just had never, you know, seen that, you know, such an outpouring of someone, you know, caring or catering to somebody they don't know, you know. So let's try to strive to love our neighbors a little bit more this weekend or this week, you guys. You know, let that be our goal. Let's try to love on people a little bit more, you know. It ain't gotta be no big deal. It can just be open, holding the door for somebody. I mean, let's just try to be a little bit nicer, you know. Cause I think sometimes we're a little tart, you know. We were a little funky. We don't care about anybody. And then you ask, I don't know why the world like that. I always say stop. I don't know why everybody be acting like this. Why you acting like you acting? You know, you the reason why it is. You add to it. So, yeah. You know, and if you see something on the CTA or wherever metro system, wherever your metro system is in your city, if you see something, a child being beaten, I don't care, a grown man, an elderly woman, a baby, I don't care who it is, get up and say something. You ain't got to jump in. You ain't got to be Superman, Superwoman, but say something. Don't sit there and watch. Oh, my God. That's not going to help anything. Get up. Get up. Get up with God and walk to the next car, walk to the bus driver or wherever, and use that phone and call 911. Stop sitting there paralyzed. I've never seen, I mean, nobody did anything with me. I was the only person that pressed the button. These people literally got out from that car, came to the next car, and just sat down. That was it. So they saved themselves. It was like, whew, I'm so glad I'm over there. You know, so you let the baby get beat up. You say, F him. Shoot, that's on him. I'm sorry that's happened to him, but at least I'm done with it. Don't wash your hands like that. I mean, that's the child. You know, I was like, I ain't never seen that. You know, that just really got me. I was like, that was disgusting. You know, but I'm just saying, let's do better so we can be better. That's all I'm saying. All right, thanks for listening. This is a little bit longer, but I had to get it out. You know, Lord had to speak. I had to get it out. I'm sorry, but hey, it is what it is. All right, hope y'all enjoyed. Please share this video, like it, all that kind of stuff. Thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later. Have a blessed rest of your week. Bye.